Hey, thanks for checking out the video. I'm really excited about this one. I've been waiting to make this video for a while now. It is going to be a comparison between the Olight i3T, my favorite model of Olight. I just really like this thing, and if you have seen any other videos on my channel, you know I really like to put the 10440 lithium rechargeable cells in this light. Even though it's not recommended by Olight, I really like the combo of that battery with this light because you get a crazy boost in performance, and the size is so tiny, so the size to performance ratio is just excellent. And that's initially what had me intrigued about the Mateminco CSF 03 as well, because this light is designed to use 10440s right out of the gate, whereas Olight doesn't recommend it, but people do it. So yeah, I wanted to try this light out. Here's some specs. I did an initial video about this light, so I'm not going to go into too much depth over some stuff I already covered. I'll link that video at the end of this one if you're interested, but yeah, here's some specs. And some features and run times as well back here. So if you want to pause and check that out, you're welcome to. But basically, I have been excited to compare these two lights against one another because they've got a similar form factor. They can each use AAA batteries, and they each seem to be able to use 10440s really, really well. I mean, this one's designed to do it in the first place. And the Olight i3T, I've been throwing everything I can at this thing, and it's still chugging along 10440 wise. Anyway, unfortunately, I had to put this video on hold though, because the very first Mateminco CSF 03 I ordered was this one right here in their sand coloration, and I really liked it. I did that initial video, but within 24 hours of me opening the box, I had an issue with this light. The tail switch completely stopped working. No clicks, and I thought the spring was just bound up or something, so I tried to fix it, unscrewed the end here, and then I even unscrewed the inner dial or whatever you want to call that in there to take it out, try to fix it. And yeah, I wasn't able to have any success, so I contacted the seller. I got this one off eBay, and these are listed on eBay again. But anyway, got a refund, got this new light here because I still did want to do this comparison video. So right off the bat, I could pretty much call this one in favor of the i3T in my mind because durability is probably at the very top of the priority list when it comes to any tool. If it's not durable, then that's a problem. So yeah, I did have an issue with the Mateminco CSF 03. I don't think I was abusing it at all. I was literally just clicking it, cycling through some modes, and I got no click once, and that was it. So yeah, I don't have as much confidence, to say the least, I don't have as much confidence in this light as I do in the i3T. I've had this one for a while, and I've thrown a lot at it, and it's still holding up, chugging along nicely. With that being said, still want to do the comparison video. So what I'm going to be doing in this one is talking about some features that I like and don't like about each of these lights in comparison with one another. And then we're also going to go outside for some beam shots, compare the beam, the output, and see how the difference in terms of output as well. I know beam shots is what everyone gets pumped about, so I got to save that for the end. To begin, I just wanted to go over the external differences between the two lights. As you can see, the CSF 03 is a little bit taller than the Olight i3T, and the weight is actually very, very similar to one another. I'll show you that here. When it comes to tiny lights, I don't think weight is actually that big of a deal. It's more of a factor when it comes to comparing larger lights with one another. But I still wanted to show that the weights of these lights. These are both empty, by the way, no batteries inside. So the i3T, we're looking at 1.06 ounces. And with the CSF 03, we've got just 1.02 ounces. So yeah, really, really close. The weight in grams empty, the i3T is 40 grams, and the CSF 03 is 39 grams. So yeah, not too much of a difference at all when it comes to form factor. I did want to show that the CSF 03 unscrews into kind of 4 sections over here. That's a difference. I don't really know why or if it matters, but yeah, that's a thing. Whereas the i3T, you've got the tail cap and the main body. That's it. The clips, I'll say a little bit about the clips. I like the clip on the Olight i3T a little better. They're really similar to each other, so I'm being very nitpicky here, but I have an easier time using this for whatever reason than I do with this one. This one, they just don't give you as much. It's still, I mean, like I said, I'm being really nitpicky, but they're virtually the same. Two-way clips. The biggest difference though with the clips is where they sit on the light. This one rides pretty low on the CSF03 in comparison with the i3T, and this one carries a little bit deeper in your pocket, the i3T over the CSF03. So if that's something that's important to you, I would give the advantage to the Olight i3T in that regard. Now let's talk about function and modes. Actually, wait, before that, we got to talk about the tail switch. So that's the Achilles heel of the Mateminco CSF03. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on that. Obviously, the first model of this light I got, the tail switch failed. But even before that, I didn't love it because it sticks up pretty tall and it's very wiggly. I don't know if you can tell or see this. Like when you click it, if you don't click it straight on, you're gonna click it to like the side or forward or back. It just bothers me. It's very nitpicky as well. I mean, it works. It's positive. You get a tactile click. But man, like if they had recessed this a little bit more, especially enough that the light could tail stand on these little lanyard clips or loops. If they ever add another section of this, maybe like 3 of them, to make it so that this light could tail stand, that would be pretty cool. I know that's important to some people, but as it sits right now, neither of these lights can tail stand. So, but yeah, this is the Achilles heel of the CSF03 in my opinion, that switch. But yeah, okay, now we can talk about functions of these lights. First, I wanted to make it clear that both lights will be using PK cell 10440s for the remainder of the video, just so that it's, you know, standard. And yeah, I'm going to show you 2 things about the CSF03 that I like over the i3T in one click of the tail switch. Bam, looking at a moonlight mode. Pretty nice. And this is actually the best moonlight mode I have used on any light thus far. It is 0.6 lumens, and the warmer tint of this light makes this my favorite moonlight mode I've tried so far. And I haven't tried a ton, but I really like this moonlight mode. I like that it's a feature available to you. So if that's something that's important to you, I think that's an advantage for the Mateminco CSF03. And then the second thing is, as I mentioned, it's that tint. You do get options when it comes to CRI with the Mateminco CSF03. So this will be easier to see outside in just a few seconds. But yeah, you got a warmer tint here. You can also choose a lower CRI or a higher CCT, cooler white when it comes to the CSF03. I went for the high CRI version. Whereas with Olight, for right now anyway, you just have the one option when it comes to light tint. And for this light, I don't mind it at all because in my mind, even though this is a small light, it's a bit more of a thrower. Its beam pattern is pretty tight, so I like to have that cool white. It just reaches out a little further, or it seems to anyway. But yeah, that's 2 things I would say. Just because you have the option with the CSF03, I think that's an advantage, and I really like that moon mode. But without any further ado, let's get these things outside and compare beam shots. All right, we're outside. The first beams we're going to be looking at are going to be coming from the Olight i3T. And the lumens for these beams are the output here is kind of unknown because this light wasn't designed to be used with 10440s from the get-go. But yeah, this is its low setting, first setting. And yeah, already hitting the back wall. Very happy with this. And then there's the high setting. Man, I've done this so many times and I'm still surprised every time I turn this on. Like, the output to size ratio is incredible. And that's why this has been my favorite combo, battery and light combo, for the longest time. The i3T here. So, yep, that's the i3T. Let's get the newcomer out and check out the CSF03. So yeah, CSF03 right here. Let me see what mode we're on. Okay, that was, all right, okay. So this is the moon mode right here, 0.6 lumens. This is the medium mode, which according to Mateminco is 90 lumens. Very nice as well, hitting that back wall. And you can tell, warmer tint. And then this is its high setting, 378 lumens according to Mateminco. So very impressive. So yeah, next thing to do is probably just to do a back and forth comparison. And take note of how wide the beam is on each light as well, if that's important to you. So yeah, CSF03 right here. Okay, here comes the Olight i3T on its high setting with the 10440. The beam diameters are pretty similar, maybe a little wider on the i3T. Let me check it out. Yeah, I'd say so. Or maybe it's just the secondary spill is a little bit brighter with the i3T, I can't tell. Let's see. Very similar, at the very least. Yeah, cooler white here. And warmer white. Yeah, so pretty impressive beam shots from both of these lights. I hope that little look in the backyard helped anyone considering one or the other of these lights. Yeah, before we get into final thoughts, I just wanted to ask humbly that if you've enjoyed this video or if it's been useful to you, if you learned anything, I'd ask you just to like the video or subscribe if you like content like this and be interested in getting some more. Otherwise, yeah, let's get into the final thoughts. So the Olight i3T, let's talk about price here with these two lights. When there's no sale going on, you can find these for about $20 US at the time of recording, and a pretty good deal for what you get. 5-year warranty, very durable light, and seems to be able to handle 10440s really well in my experience. This is a low sample size I'm working with. I have a couple of these lights that I've tried with 10440s, and yeah, no issues with them. So take that for what it's worth. And then yeah, over here, at the time of recording, once again, you can find these Mateminco CSF03s on eBay. Maybe, I haven't really checked other sites yet, to be honest with you, but they go for about $25 right now, US. So a little bit more expensive, but if you like the tint option and the moonlight mode, you may be willing to pay that extra $5. That kind of just your own choice, your own preference, but yeah. I'm gonna give just a little, my 2 cents. I'm a nobody, but as a consumer, I paid for these lights with my own cash. If I were to say anything to the manufacturers, for Olight, I would say I love this light, first of all. Like I said, it's probably my favorite. But yeah, if they wanted to improve on this, and I think they're moving in this direction already because the new i5R high CRI version just came out. So they seem to be offering more and more tint choices for their customers, which is great. Doing that on the i3T, I don't know if I don't know how many would be interested in that, but it seems like they would sell just from where I'm sitting. So yeah, Olight, if you feel like swapping a different emitter in or providing those options with the i3T, you could do that. Other than that, yeah, maybe a moon mode, but that's not a deal breaker for me. But it is nice. So that's what I'd say to Olight. And for Mateminco, I would just tell Mateminco, you're onto something pretty good. You just got to fix that tail switch, really. I mean, that's the weak point in this light. But yeah, bringing this to market at the price point you've got it is pretty good. Just got to fix that tail switch a little bit, make that a little less wiggly, maybe not stick out as far, and you got a winner here on your hands. So that's my 2 cents anyway. I really appreciate it if you've made it this far in the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. God bless you, and take care.